Global warming is unique in the sciences. You can be completely wrong, but it doesn't matter. Not as long as you've exaggerated the scare, you spread more panic. Give you an example. Tim Flannery, obvious. He's just won a medal from Scotland's Royal Geographical Society for his, and get this, his ability to communicate complex climate science to the general public. Really, here is an example of Flannery communicating that complex science.
Even the rain that falls isn't actually going to fill our dams and our river system.
Who cares that Flannery was 100% wrong, that the dams did fill again? And who cares that he was wrong to warn that Sydney was about to run out of water, or that Perth would become this century's first ghost city because of global warming? It doesn't matter that he was wrong, not to this Royal Society. What matters is that he was filled with the Holy Spirit of the global warming religion. And if he was wrong, so what? It was all in a sacred cause to scare the rest of us into belief. Now, this actually matters a lot right now, because it could cost us not just lots of money, but your job. Tonight, Prime Minister Scott Morrison will join 39 other world leaders in a summit called by US President Joe Biden to discuss Biden's obsession, how to stop what he and his climate envoy claim is a climate crisis, an existential threat. They're putting huge pressure on Scott Morrison now to make big promises tonight of cutting emissions, which is embarrassing because he actually won the last election by defending coal and attacking Labor's global warming plans as too extreme. But under this pressure is buckling. Is talking about, yes, a new net zero target. Yes, that is inevitable. And yesterday he promised $500 million of your money for wild green schemes like carbon capture. And today promising another $500 million. It's like, what debt? To promote green technologies overseas. But even that is not enough, claim some Biden officials briefing the newspapers. Officials who seem to think that Biden was last year elected President of Australia as well, and should, of course, have the right to tell us what our domestic global warming policies must be. Sadly, Scott Morrison doesn't have the wit or the courage or the political capital to challenge all this global warming scaremongering or tell Biden to go to hell and stop telling us what to do. He's doing everything except what we need, which is to calmly expose the alarmist predictions that have all gone bung and talk about what the science really tells us. Science like the latest satellite measurements of the world's temperature showing an abrupt cooling over the past 4 months. It brings the temperature to actually below the longer term average. Where's that warming gone? Morrison refused to point out that so many predictions of climate disasters have simply proved false, that we're actually getting fewer cyclones, not the predicted more, that we're actually getting record grain crops, not the predicted smaller ones, and that Pacific Islands are growing on average, not drowning at all, as even the ABC now finally admits, and that we've actually had increased rain in Australia over the century, not less. See, this whole global warming scare is simply bizarre. It's like the Emperor's new clothes, you know. Almost no one dares to point out that there isn't, in fact, a climate emergency, for fear they'll be called a sinner. But what would I know? When 101 winners of the Nobel Prize have just signed a letter demanding the leaders at tonight's summit go in harder to stop what they claim is catastrophic climate change. I mean, these are real experts like the Dalai Lama, who says he's been reincarnated 13 times since he first appeared on the planet in 1391. There's an evidence-based mind right there, the bloke we can really take seriously about the science. A bloke who reckons has been around for more than 700 years, so he must know something. That's where we now are. The facts don't count with global warming. This is a religious movement led by the likes of a Dalai Lama. And anyone who dares doubt, they are the new Satans.